Hi everyone, good evening, dear friends, and welcome to our weekly online event, diving into Dhamma live Q&A with Bhante Sumitta. I'm your host, Dulani Gunasekara, and I'm truly excited to be here with all of you today. Every Friday at 6 p.m. PST and Saturday 6:30 a.m. IST, we gather here on the Dhamma USA YouTube channel to engage in enlightening discussions and Q&A sessions with the esteemed Bhante Sumitta. So please mark your calendars for every Friday at 6 a.m. PST and be ready to tune in to these insightful sessions with Bhante Sumitta, who holds a PhD in this subject matter, because the wisdom that he imparts is a guiding light for us all on our spiritual journey. And before we waste any more time, let's invite Bhante to the studio. Everyone said hi.
Everyone, Saranai, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Okay, glad to be here again with our uh, diving into Dhamma live Q&A session. This is episode number 7. Last week we actually were busy, so we couldn't make it. Tomorrow also we have the we have the Katina ceremony here. So people are really working hard at the temple. But I think it is also important that we still continue with our program. And thank you, Dulani, for hosting today's event. And we are ready to answer your questions if you have any.
Yes. So we actually left off with three unanswered questions. I will say the first one because I'm still typing it out. But this is from Julie. She asked last time, what does Maha mean in Mahasangha? Bante, I hear you say this regularly. I don't hear my teacher or other Theravada monks use this term.
Okay, I think Julie is here. Do you have the question?
No, I'm typing it out right now.
Could you please repeat that? Maybe.
Okay. So she's asking, what does Maha mean in Mahasangha?
Uh,
Because she says that she hears this regularly in, from you saying it, and she doesn't hear her teacher or any other Theravada monks use this term.
or like Maha is a Pali word meaning great. Maha means great. So we have Mahayana, and Mahayana means greater vehicle. you know, Hinayana means lower vehicle. So Theravada is the teaching, like the school of the elders. And I think uh, Maha Sangha means great community, greater community. It can be the number that is greater, and it can be the qualities of the Mahasangha. It can be the virtues of the Mahasangha. So all of them can be put together when we call Mahasangha. Sangha itself means community. When we say Mahasangha, the greater community. The greater community is actually we can say the Mahasangha. When we say Sangha community, there are fourfold communities like the bhikkhus, bhikkhunis, upasakas and upasikas. So the monks and the nuns and the lay female and male devotees, they can also be included into this fourfold Sangha community. But when we say actually Sangha, we usually use the bhikkhus and bhikkhunis because they have completely dedicated their life and energy to practice the Dhamma, to preserve the Dhamma. That is one reason why we call Mahasangha. And you see, like the monks also, when you become, when you enter the order as a novice monk, you become a Samanera. When you complete 20 years of your biological age, you are eligible to enter the full-fledged bhikkhu status. Okay, and after 10 years of your bhikkhu ordination, you can be called a thera. Okay, and after 15 years, you can, after 15 years, so I mean from ordination to from ordination 10 years onward, you will be a thera. Mean thera like Theravada. Thera means elder, senior monk. Okay, so Upasampada senior monk, higher ordination, ordination and higher ordination. Higher ordination is the Upasampada, where the monks have to observe 227 rules and precepts, and then the bhikkhunis have to observe 311 precepts. So when they complete 10 years after their higher ordination, they can be called Thera or Theri. And after 15 years, they become Mahathera or Mahatheri. Yeah.
Thank you.
Here, my teacher or other Theravada monks use this term. Sometimes we actually say Mahathera. For example, I entered the order actually way back in 1981. Now, this month, October 29th, I will be completing my 42nd year as a Buddhist monk. The monks who complete after Upasampada, if you complete 15 years, you can be called a Mahate.
Oh, that's interesting to know. I didn't know that myself either. But,
Yeah.
thank you for that question, Julie. I think that's a question that everyone can also benefit from hearing too. Um, let's see. What else? We have another question. This is also from our previous session. They say, Buddhagosa says it's like a creeper wine, and located page 532, chapter 26, that can be grabbed from the ends or the middle. Are there specific terms if you start from the middle, tanna to avidya? Is that still patiloma? And this is Jojo C's question. I believe she was here last time.
Yeah. It's like a creeper wine that can be grabbed from the end or the middle. Are there specific terms if you start from the middle, tanha to avidya? Is that still
Patiloma.
patiloma? Okay, patiloma means okay. Anuloma and patiloma. It's like a creeper vine that can be grabbed from the end or the middle. I do have the Visuddhimagga right here with me, both English and Sinhala. But 500, is that the page?
Page 532.
Yeah, let me double check. Oh, yeah, I have the book here. I'm not sure if this is the book that um, Jojo is referring to. 532.
32.
Let me quickly double check.
Oh, that's
I mean,
good. Jojo C has also joined.
yeah,
Yeah.
so get from the end or the middle. Creeper wine. Uh,
Buddha Goswami might be talking about a metaphor in this.
Yeah, yeah, I understand, but I'm just trying to see because it doesn't look like the beginning of the question, right? So if that talks, I don't see here actually. Maybe a different version, probably. But in this particular book, I don't find that page number. Okay, looks like a different page number. Anyway, so what's important here is that can be grabbed from the end or the middle. There are specific terms if you start from the middle tanha to avijja. Middle tanha. So in Paticca Samuppada, when we say avijja paccaya sankhara, so the from avijja, from the craving uh, emanates, evolves the sankhara, okay, the conditioned things. And from conditioned things, sankhara paccaya vijnana, vijnanam, the consciousness occurs. From consciousness, the name and form nama rupa occurs. From nama rupa, the salayatana, the six faculties occur. And from six faculty, the sensation, like the when we see, when we hear, when we touch, when we smell, and all these things happen through the sensation. When we experience things through the six faculties, and then we have the feeling, and so feeling can be feeling can be pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. Depending on that, we actually create karma, what we call craving. And that tanha, then because of the craving, we actually make it, hold it firmly, so it becomes upadana. So and then because of that, padana paccaya bhava, the existence happens. Like I want to see something and I like it, I want to keep it longer, I want to see that longer. I hear something and I really like it, I'm really fascinated by that sound, so I want to keep it happen and happening. So it doesn't happen, so that is why we have that. And it is said because of this existence, bhava paccaya jati, and because of that we actually have the birth. And once you have the birth, all the other related issues like the old age, the sickness, and the death, and all the other things happen too. So it's a vicious circle. So once you get out of this, like this is the anuloma way, like the ascending order. And when you get out of this, how do you get out of this? Like the descending order. One by one, we have to let them go. And yeah, so it could be the middle, it could be the beginning, it could be the end, but we really can really, let's say, like the craving. Okay, you eat something, so you really see a yummy food, and when you see that, the beginning of the thought, the middle of the thought, or the end of the thought, it's very hard to comprehend, right? So but the whole process, I could say, like you see the food, and before seeing the food, let's say like you want to go to a restaurant. Okay, you want to go to a restaurant for lunch, and so the whole process of researching, googling, you know is the beginning part of the craving, the ahara tanha, the food craving. And once you go there, it is the middle part of your craving. Okay, so you are actually eating the food, that is the middle part of your craving. And then afterwards you go back home and talking to people, and you say, oh wow, very yummy food, delicious, I had a fantastic food today. And so you talk to people, that could be the end of the ending part of the craving. Same thing like when you do a good karma, it is the same. Like dana, for example, it is the same thing. Beginning, middle, and the end. So the tanha to avidya, all these things could be having middle, beginning, middle, and the end. But it could be, we need to actually consider it case by case. Yeah, it changes depending on the situation, circumstances. I hope this was helpful. If you still have Jojo, you are welcome to come up with another follow-up question.
Yeah, this is a really good question to
Yeah,
ask.
interesting.
Hmm. We have another question from Valentino Siddhartha. Um, she says, Bante Namo Buddhaya, I wanted to ask, what is Rupakanda?
Hmm. Yeah, so we have five aggregates. Okay, when we say five aggregates, that I think we need to talk about the five aggregates first. So out of the five aggregates, one is Rupa, and then um, Rupa Kanda, and then the Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vijnana. Okay, so those are the five aggregates. So there is a difference between Rupa Kanda and Rupa Upadana Kanda. So normally, let's talk about the rupa in general. Like what you see right now, right here, is the rupa. Through the eye, what you see is the rupa. Okay, and so what you hear through your ears is the sadda. And then, like when you see a rupa, when you see let's say a Buddha statue, or when you see the beautiful sunrise in the morning, okay, that glorious sunrise in the morning is the rupa that you see through your eyes. And also the rupa can be more something to do with touchable. Okay, that could be also the case. So we also have nama and rupa. When we say nama, that is the mind. Okay, and when you say rupa, that is the tangible object that can be touchable. You can see that. Whatever you see is rupa. And the thing is how it becomes rupa khanda and rupa upadana khanda is what we need to know. This is, I think, important in this through this question. um, for Leontino, I would like to say, what is more important, as you said, rupa khanda is very important to know. Rupa upadana khanda also need to know. So when you see a rupa, if you like it, you actually cling to that. So clinging, when you have the pleasant object, if you see something, so you have the clinging. So that is the case. When you see that, you have the clinging. And if you see that and if you don't like it, if it is an unpleasant, then it is the other side of the coin. You like it and you dislike it. You see? And then there are many things in the world that we see, and actually, most of the things that we see in the world are neither pleasant nor unpleasant, right? Neutral. Most of the people also that we have are neither friends nor enemies, right? They are neutral. Same thing here. Throughout the day, we see hundreds and hundreds of things, and most of them are neutral to us. Some of the things that we see during the day can be really, really memorable. Some of the things when we see, you really like them and you remember them. Imagine you see a friend, or you see a beautiful sunrise, as I mentioned, or you see something, maybe a flower, or you see someone whom you really like, so they can be pleasing. So they can be memorable. You keep that in your memory. You have that pleasant memory. And when you have a pleasant memory, you create karma. Remember that. When you like it, that moment of liking means you create a karma. Same thing, when you don't like it, the moment of you disliking means you create a karma. We have to be extremely careful and not to make liking or disliking. It is said, ditte ditte matta. You see it just for the sake of it. Okay? Not to have a liking or disliking. Let's say, like, you see someone. Actually, there is a very interesting story I would like to share with you. Once a monk who was practicing attika bhavana, that is practicing on the bones, okay, the skeleton. The monk was practicing skeleton meditation. So he was bone. You see the bones in our body? So he would be thinking of it. And then one day he was actually going for arms round, and he was still focusing, he was still practicing bone meditation. Okay, it's bone. Okay, so he was practicing and he was contemplating on that even while walking. And then after a while, he meets one lady. A young lady was coming after a fight with her husband. She actually was running away from her home. She wanted to go back to her parents. The young lady saw the monk, and she actually was smiling at the monk. The monk saw the teeth of the young lady, and so he was only practicing. And after a while, the lady passed by, and then the husband came running. He asked the monk, "Did you see a lady going by?" And then the monk said, "I don't know whether it was a man or a woman, but I saw a skeleton." He said, "I saw a skeleton." Do you see what happened here? The monk was practicing on bones. And the moment he saw the lady smiling, he saw the teeth, and he was able to see the entire skeleton of the body through that. That's very interesting and fascinating um, meditation. That could be, like, see, the monk, he did not have any pleasant or unpleasant feeling. Probably the woman was very happy, because she was unhappy with the husband, and here he saw a monk coming. Maybe she had some other intention too, I don't know. But the monk, he was practicing, and he saw the woman smiling, and he saw the teeth, and he was practicing bone. And he saw the skeleton. That is very interesting. Even he could pierce through the flesh, and he could see the the entire skeleton of the body. Very interesting. So we need to see how important it is to not to be clinging to anything when we see something, and to maintain that. Neither to have unpleasant or no pleasant, but to be neutral is much more safer for now. Like we call equanimous, okay, in the middle path. That is much more helpful. So just see it, and see it for the sake of it. Ditte ditta matta. That is the idea. I hope this help. If you still need more clarification, let us discuss.
Hmm. The bone meditation is very interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. I have seen actually in some meditation centers, like the forest meditation centers, when people die, actually they offer the dead body to forest monasteries. They don't cremate. Uh, they actually they just give it to the offer the body to the monks so that they can actually practice. I've seen how in some monasteries they have a glass cave covered with a glass. It's inside the cave actually, but it's covered with a glass so that the smell doesn't come. It's a very, very strong smell, I would say. When the body is in the process of decomposing, you won't be able to survive. It's really, really strong. And so what the monk does is keep gazing at the body and how the body changes over time, how the body change the colors and change the inflammation and all kinds of they know everything. These monks know everything about the whole process, how long it takes to take the inflammation, the color change, and then slowly the skin, the flesh, and then also lots and lots of insects coming out of the body, and it's amazing. And after a long time, the bone will remain, everything will be gone. And also you will see like this beautiful fascinating five aggregates covered with flesh and blood and a beautiful skin. Is the reality of it. They know it very well. So it's very interesting to know much about that.
Hmm.
Sometimes the monks would go to mortuaries where the bodies are, like those people who actually deal with the body, the
Hmm.
dead body, and so they take out the bowels and all these things. They just see that and they go and actually not everyone can do that, but as for training purpose, these monks go to see those dead bodies in the hospital, which is very important. Those days, the monks could do it like in the forest because the bodies were just dumped into the forest uh, a long time ago. And then later we had cemeteries where the bodies are properly cremated or buried, and so the monks could not see them too. And in the forest monasteries, some they have the bodies. They do have the body. They see it. Very, very interesting how the asubha bhavana, the foulness of the body, they can see it very well. It really helps to see the impermanence and also not to generate any attachment or detachment, just equanimity. It's really helpful.
Well, good to know. Thank you. We have another question from Jojo. She said, Anuloma, forward, avijja, arising sankara, etc. But can patiloma also start with avijja, but ceasing instead of arising to the next link? And I don't understand the second part of the question.
Anuloma, forward, yeah, ascending order. Avidya, arising, sankara. But can patiloma also start with avidya but ceasing instead of arising at the next link? Can it begin with jas, marine, and go backwards to avidya? You see, like um, that's like a circle, okay? When you have a circle, you really can see the beginning. What is the beginning point? Although we start with avidya, which is the most predominant defilement that we have. Um, One is avidya, one is craving. Okay, tanha. So avidya is ignorance, tanha is craving. They are the most predominant defilements that we have, but the others are also part of it. And so they also link to each other. They are interlinked. They are mutually helpful. It's like a circle. So we really can say what is actually the beginning in that case. But they can, you can start with anything. You can start with, like at the present moment, what can you start? Maybe you can start with Rupa. You can start with Sad, okay, Tanha, okay, craving. You can start with um, uh, like birth, Jati. You can start with sickness. You can start with anything, but then you can go back, like how to get rid of the sickness, and so you have to get rid of the jati, like the birth, right? If you don't want to be sick, what is the way? Right, taking medicine, it's temporary. You can take medicine, you can do, you can take vitamin, you can take even what do you call, do exercise and all these things, good health habits, meditation, all these things can be helpful, yes, to a certain extent, yes. But to completely eradicate all forms of sickness is to stop being born, stop birth, and then you will have no more sickness, no more old age, no more death, no more association with unpleasant ones, no more dissociation from pleasant ones. No, nothing of this sort things will happen when you are no more born. That is why Kina Jati, the Arahanta, the liberated one, get rid of, the Jati. And that is why the Buddha also said, Natti Jati Punabhava, no more birth, Punabhava, no more existence. So when you don't have existence, you can go back. Um, Bhava, Bhava Nirodha. So the other related links will also be one by one. You need to actually go it ascending and descending order, and so you can link it. It will be a great meditation actually. It's a really helpful meditation if someone can focus on that. I would say, like, there are some suttas with the paticca samuppada or dependent origination. Please read it, read word by word, and also read the meanings, and then you meditate. Just after that, just sit, eyes closed, and silently reflect on those things. And after a while, you will be able to recognize these things very clearly. Okay.
Thank you for the great explanation. I hope that answers your question, Jojo. It's a very good question, actually, as well. We have another question, and this is from me. Could you explain about the mind and its importance in Buddhism?
Yeah. Mano Pubbangama Dhamma.
Mm.
Yeah. I have the Dhammapada here.
Yamagawaka stanza 1.
Yeah. This one is Dhammapada. And you see, over here, the first stanza of the Dhammapada is Mano Pubbangama Dhamma Mano Siddha Manomaya Manasache Paduttena Bhasativa Karotiva Tatonang Dukkhamanveti Chakkangva Vahato Padang. Over here, the meaning, mind is the forerunner of all evil states. Mind is chief, mind made are they. If one speaks or acts with wicked mind, the suffering follows one, just as the wheel follows the hoof of the draught ox. And the other Dhammapada, the same second stanza says the other side of that, like um, uh, just as that the mind is the supreme, mind is chief, mind is the forerunner, and if one speaks or acts or thinks with good mind, good pure mind, the result will follow him or her, just as the shadow that never leaves you. The shadow will not leave you even if you are in the darkness. Remember, in the darkness, the shadow is still there. It is just because of the dark you can see the shadow. But when it is light, you can see the shadow. So, just as the shadow that never leaves, the good things that you do, the result of that will follow you always. It's really, really interesting. Like, what is the mind? So vinyana, it is said the mind, the consciousness, the vinyana, the there are actually chitta, mana, vinyana. There are three things. I think there are a lot of articles about this. You can also take a look. And so, what is important here? Mind is like a factory. Okay, mind is like a factory. Let's say a garment factory. So the chitta is that, and what is the chetana or the thoughts? It is like the clothes, the dresses that you make. You know, you see the outcome of the garment factory is the beautiful dresses. That's like our thoughts. So the mind and the chitta and the chetasika are interrelated. Mind is where you generate the thoughts. So it is very hard to say which one. Like when you see something, you already generate a thought, right? As I mentioned, if you are happy, what kind of thought you generate? You
Happy
generate
thoughts.
a happy, yeah. But when you see someone whom you don't like, what will happen? You will have anger, you will have jealousy, you will have hypocrisy, you will also have like a super ego. You might also try to underestimate or what you call look down upon. We have something actually very nice Pali two words what we call Attukambana and Paravambana. Attukambana means you elevate yourself, you glorify yourself, and Paravambana means you look down upon the other one. So you compare, you have that inferiority complex, superiority complex, both of them are also there. So all these things can happen to our mind. Mind is amazing, and there is no other vehicle in the world that is faster than the mind. And the Buddha said in the Dhammapada, same Dhammapada, I think it is Chitta Vagga,
Mm.
Durangamang Ekacharang Asarirang Guhasayang, Ye Chittang Sanyamesanti Mokhanti Mara Bandhana. So the mind goes so far. If you went to moon yesterday, you can go to moon today right away, even after coming back to Earth. Within seconds, within a fraction of a second, you can go to the moon and come back. Okay, that is the power of the mind. There is no other yana, no Chandrayana like the Chitta yana. It's so fast. And Durangamang Ekacharang, it is said, it normally uh, lives alone, lives alone, but it has to be somewhere, someone, like the body. We also need to have some kind of an object, okay, like a rupa, a saddha, a gandha, rasa, pottabha, dhamma. We need to have that, otherwise the mind cannot survive. So ekacharang asarirang, so there is no body. Guhasayang, so the cave that the body, the mind stays is these five aggregates. Like how you imagine yourself, this is my body, this is me, this is Dulani. Okay, this is Sumita. You call it, and this is me. Okay, so my body. This is my kingdom. So you try to protect the frontiers and already possess it, and that is why whatever you see, whatever you hear, whatever you smell, whatever you contact, whatever you taste, whatever you think, all can be part of that. And the thoughts actually need the help of the mind to survive. So they live together. They live together. Importance of mind, definitely very important. Why? Because everything is mind made.
Mm.
Even this body, mind made. The world, mind made. You see, whatever we create, we say like made in China, made in Japan, made in USA. You say it, but actually made in mind. Manomaya, everything mind made. Before coming into this, like all these things, whatever you have here, the computer, the all these magnificent productions, man-made things are actually mind-made. Everything mind-made. So mind is so important in Buddhism. Like where you, if you have the intention, whether it is good or bad, depending on that, you create karma. So the karmic conditions happen depending on your intention, into your mind. So let's say like you walk, while walking without any awareness, you just unconsciously stepped on maybe an insect, and that one dies, and it's not a karma. It doesn't generate an unwholesome karma for you because you didn't have the intention. Chetanahang bhikkhave kammang vadami. Chetayitva kammang karoti kayena vachaya manasa. By body or by word, by mind, if you do something intentionally, with intention, then you create a karma. If not, it doesn't become a karma. Doesn't become a karma that can, make you unhappy, unwholesome.
Thank you for answering my question about the mind. I think it's also something that other people may wonder about too, especially since in Buddhism we have the six senses, and in general sense it's only five senses. So I think this is a very important concept to be discussing about. So I hope this benefits everyone else, and it has already benefited me. So thank you.
Yeah, just to piggyback, like when you see a form, you see that, you recognize it, that recognition comes from vijnana. Okay, when I see you, for example, I recognize Dulani. Okay, I recognize Dulani, and then that is the vijnana, rupa vijnana. Okay, so it is said, uh, uh, so the eye is like a window. Okay, so you see the object, and that is the rupa, and through this we see, we recognize it with the consciousness, the vijnana. So tinnan sangati paso, when these three things together, put together, you have the contact. Okay, that passa pachya vedana, that because of that contact, three things together, I, the form, and the consciousness, when they are coordinated together, you have the contact. That contact can be, that passa can be vedana, feeling. That feeling can be pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. Same thing. When you see a rupa, you have the mind. When you hear the sound, same. Like for example, if you call me, I can recognize your voice, right? Oh, this is Dulani call. How does it happen? Because you have that same sota vijnana, chakku vijnana to recognize the rupa, sota vijnana to recognize the sound. So the sound is there, the ear is like the window, and then coordination, the recognition happens through Sota Vijnana, the ear consciousness. These three things together, we have the contact, phassa, and then phassa pachya vedana. Through that, we have the feeling. It could be pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. Same thing with the smell, same thing with the taste, same thing with the contact, same thing with the mind too. Okay. Yeah, so you can see like the mind is everywhere. It's all over.
Yep, that is very true. Thank you. And I have another question. Could you elaborate more about the 32 marks found in a great man? And is this related to the significance of 31 planes of existence?
Oh, 32 marks actually are related to the body, and 31 planes are different. 32 marks are like it is said the great people like the Buddha or the sometimes even say Chakravarti Raja, the universal monarch, can have the 32 parts of the body. Okay. So they can have special bodily features, and sometimes you can see, for example, a Hollywood actor, okay, a superstar that you really love to see such people. And when you see some people, even amongst thousands of people, you can see them and you can recognize them easily. They are so amazing, a very like well built and very nice, such wonderful features they have, right? There may be some like voice, the singers or actors or actresses, they have wonderful, very attractive, distinguished features among in them. So imagine like the Buddha who has done, fulfilled so much good paramitas, perfections, lot of dedication throughout the samsara, years and years, births and births. So there, when you see the Buddha, their powerful loving kindness, compassion, and their wisdom can easily be recognized by the other people. So they can also be very easily distinguished. Yeah, that is there. So the 32, 31 planes are actually different, like the four lower realms, and then the human realm, and the six deva realms, and the rest of the Brahma realms. That is the four, 31 planes.
Yeah, because the reason I was asking this is my professor said that there's a significance behind the number 31 and it has to do something with the 32 marks. So I wanted to see if that was true or not.
What is it, 30?
So he was saying that the 31 planes of existence has a significant meaning behind it for the
Uh,
self. And he connected with the 32 marks.
oh, I don't think so. I don't think that is anything to do with the 32 bodily marks. Remember, like these bodily marks can be related to humans only, first of all, and it's not related to the animals. It's not related to the heavenly realms or even like formless realms. Imagine they don't have a body at all, right? So it doesn't make any sense.
Mm. Yeah, I'll be sure to
Only,
tell him.
only to the human realm, and then out of the humans, like very, very rare people like the Buddha or the universal monarch, they could have such bodily features.
Mm.
32 years.
Yeah, he's coming tomorrow to the temple, so I'll tell him that.
Okay. We have another question by Kemara John, right?
Yeah, it's in Thai. She's asking, can you explain the Bhavanga?
Ah, this is a Good question. So, Bhavanga, I think it is more to do with the what do you call Abhidhamma. So, Bhavanga means that um, the members of existence, like in Abhidhamma, we have this Bhavanga, and so it could be actually according to Theravada Buddhism, we have this bhavanga, uh, the concept of bhavanga, uh, constituent of becoming, function of being, and functional state of subconsciousness. It is also something to do with the subconsciousness. When we say bhavanga, it's not the bhava, it's part of it. So subliminal consciousness or subconscious life continuum. So this vital continuum, in the absence of any process of mind, so that could be the bhavanga. So it is the absence of any process. You can see like bhavanga, sometimes subconscious individual life. It could happen when you are maybe in sleep. You see, like how these things can happen to us, like subconscious stream, and so things like that can happen when you are into sleep or unconsciousness, or like when you are unconsciousness, you also can't really create any karma, like in the um, so bhavanga state. I could probably explain to you that one later. I think I need to check more about this in the Abhidhamma text. So it's a very interesting question though, but yeah, very important. Bhavanga state. I'll probably take up this question again later on.
Yeah, we will definitely ask this question again so you can have more time to look on it too. I don't think I've ever heard of this term, even though I've studied Abhidhamma myself. But,
Yeah, Abhidhamma is part of yeah, very interesting part of the chitta, the Bhavanga.
that's cool. Jojo said that she will, or he or she will meditate forward and backwards on the 12 nidana, and it answered both parts of her question.
Okay.
So she's
Yeah.
very
I'm trying to think like what is the sutta that we have. Like we have several suttas with the Paticca Samuppada, dependent origination. It's very interesting to I like here, for example, in the temple we chant this Paticca Samuppada every single day in the night. So it's very helpful. Like avidya pacchaya sankhara, sankhara pacchaya vijnanam, vijnana pacchaya nama rupam, nama rupa pacchaya salayatanam, salayatana pacchaya passo, passa pacchaya vedana, vedana pacchaya tanha, tanha pacchaya upadanam, upadana pacchaya bhavo, bhava pacchaya jati, jati pacchaya jara maranam, soka parideva, dukkha domana supayasa sambhavanti. Evametassa kevalassa dukkakandassa samudayo hoti. That is the what do you call ascending order, and then we can also go back like avidjayateva says viraga nirodha sankhara nirodha. So when the avidya is gone, the sankhara happen. When sankhara is gone, when the sankhara is gone, the sankhara nirodha, vijnana Caesar. So the descending order also is explained, and yeah, I mean, just not the words, but word by word, the meaning can be very wonderful if we can read this, recite this, and then meditate. That will be very helpful for all of us to read this, to chant these things, and then reflect the meaning of it. in your meditation. Yeah, thank you. Very nice to hear, Jojo, that you also practice forward and backward. This wonderful, yeah. I mean, the paticca samuppada, or the dependent origination, is the crux, the quintessential essence of Buddhism. I'm
Mhm.
very happy to hear someone is focusing on these things. Like a lot of people are very much into rituals and all these things, but here we go right into the the core teaching of the Buddha. Very happy.
Yes, I feel the same as well. Uh, we have another question from Julie. She says, "Dear Venerable, if I understand correctly, liking and disliking creates karma. Is it so for any of the other hindrances, or does it all come down to liking and disliking?"
Yeah, liking and disliking create karma. So it could be definitely related to other hindrances too. But remember, like if you talk about the five hindrances, kama, chanda, vyapada, thina, midda, uddhacha, kukucha, vichikicha. But beyond that, there are many other defilements. You know that all can be related to liking and disliking. But I think, in summary, it is easier to say like through the six senses. Like the eye, through the eye, you see something, like and dislike, right? And then create a karma. And so when you hear something, like, dislike, create a karma. And then when you smell, like, dislike, you create a karma. And then taste, like, dislike, create a karma. And then touch through the body, like, dislike, you create a karma. And then also in the mind, when you think, like, dislike, you create a karma. And so I think that way we can cover up everything. So liking can have desires, can have craving, can have clinging, can have many things related to that part. And then the disliking can have anger, can have jealousy, can have, lot of things that can irritation, bodily and physically and even mentally, kind of non-violent, yeah, like oppressive mode can happen through the disliking. So, having said that, in between the middle neutrality, um, to begin with, neutrality can be really helpful. Let's say, for example, like you have a friend. Okay, we all like to have friends, and so there are many neutral people in the world. I actually reiterate this matter all the time. In this world, the vast majority of the people are neutral to us. We don't know them, they don't know us, right? But out of these neutral people, there could be some, anytime they could turn hostile. Maybe in the airplane, maybe in the shopping mall, maybe in the school, someone. You don't know, but any of them can turn hostile. That is why we also want to make them, at least we try to try to keep them in the neutral mode, not in the unfriendly mode. We don't want them to be unfriendly, because when they are unfriendly, they can harm us, they can hurt us. You will be hurt, they will be hurt. And when you also respond to them, you will create a karma. That way you will also create a bad karma. Not only that person, but also you. If someone does a bad karma and you reacted to that bad karma by word, by deed, or by thought, you also create a bad karma. The moment you start reacting to that situation, you are already a part of that. So we have to be careful. Yeah, liking and disliking. In that case, liking to a certain extent, okay, but if it creates a desire, if it creates an attachment, this is where we have to be careful, right? You can really make, definitely you can make disliking, because disliking is more negative. Liking is depends on, liking can be less negative. Neutral is much more effective. So we need to see, like, depending on the circumstance, depending on the situation, we need to make sure first, maybe not liking. Disliking, we have to get rid of first. Liking second. And third, even liking, we have to get rid of. We have to be neutral. That, uh, like sadness or anger or whatever happens to you, if you can remain neutral, you can be really, really wonderful. Your inner peace will not be disturbed that way. That is why the liberated ones, the enlightened ones, are called Thadi. They are called Thadi because they are equanimous. They don't really be bothered whatever happens around. All the storms that you see in the world outside, they will not take them inside. They will not take it personally. That is why they can remain neutral all the time.
Mm, thank you for the wonderful explanation, and I hope this answers your question, Julie, because it's a very good one actually too. So based on time, we've reached 1 hour. So, but we have one more question. Do you want
Mm.
to take it or
Yeah,
do?
I think we can finish.
Okay,
We can answer to that and then finish.
all right, sounds good. So, Kima is asking, is it fair to say in comparison to the form of energy in modern world?
Is it fair to say in comparison to the form of energy? Form of energy. So as I mentioned, I think form should be something that you can touch. It could be more tangible, more to see, no, more to be seen. uh, you know so I think the energy, probably is, not a direct part of it, but the energy can be related to some other aggregate. Let's say, like, we have rupa, vedana, sanya, sankhara, vijnana, right? So there are other parts that can be related to energy. Energy, I think it's more to do with the vijnana. um, so yeah, bodily part or the material part can be more to do in this case as Rupa. I
Yeah,
hope I answered you.
that's actually a good question as well.
Hmm.
All right, it seems that we don't have any other questions. Would you like to conclude for today? Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. So today we answered all of our questions within a decent amount of time, so that's good. But I would like to first thank Bante for your very insightful and elaborate answers to all of our questions. We all appreciate your valuable time to come on here and share your wisdom and knowledge with all of our friends from the globe online. And for our viewers watching, please make sure you're following us on the Dhamma USA socials, YouTube, and Facebook to be always updated with the latest notifications. And thank you again for joining us. And we look forward to seeing you every Friday at 6 p.m. PST for diving into Dhamma live Q&A with Bhante Sumitta. And on behalf of the audience, may we ask Bhante to deliver some lessons for us?
Thank you so much, everyone, and I wish you all a wonderful, happy, peaceful life with good health and longevity, prosperity, and may you all be blessed by the Noble Triple Gem. May no harm come to you from water, fire, air, May you always be safe and protected wherever you are. May you be able to live your life peacefully, comfortably with good health. And may you always be associated with wonderful Kalyana Mitra friends. May you also be able to listen to the Dhamma, practice the Dhamma, and going ahead of the Dhamma way along with the Dhamma path. And may all your near and dear ones, your family, friends, relatives, teachers, and elders also be blessed by the Noble Triple Gem. May they all be well, happy, healthy. May all your departed ones, please think of them, please be kind to them, nice to them. May they all share this merit, be well, happy, healthy, safe, wherever they are. May all of us, all of them, all sentient beings, including Devas, Brahmas, also receive this merit, share this merit, be well, happy, healthy, safe, wherever they are. May all of us be able to attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana, the absolute peace and happiness at the end of our samsara. Thinking thus, I would like to chant a short blessing to invoke blessings upon all of you. අභිවාදන සීලිස නිච්ඡං වද්ධා පචායිනෝ චත්තාරෝ ධම්මා වඩ්ඩಂತಿ සුඛං බලං ආයුරාෝග්‍ය සම්පatti සග්ග සම්පatti මේවච අතෝ නිබ්බාන සම්පatti හිමිනාතේ සමිජ්ජතු සාදු සාදු සාදු.
Thank you very much for the kind blessings, and thank you for all of our viewers joining us. And we look forward to seeing you every Friday at 6 p.m. for Diving into Dhamma live Q&A with Bhante Sumitta. May you all be well, happy, and healthy. Teruwan Saranan.